tonight. Everybody in the first half was really good. What a good show, etc, etc. So basically I've just came off a run at the new contemporary show that the Royal Scottish Academy do every year. So I've just been at I've just been at the National Gallery in Edinburgh, so it's been very good. I graduated DJ CAD last summer, so this is my first time performing this in Dundee. So really excited. So this is my material that I performed in Edinburgh. Basically I'm just gonna read you a couple of stories. It's like my diary entries. So I'll just go. Also, I hope nobody's offended by strong language or sexual themes. So there's going to be a lot of that. Right, okay. So, oh my god, already, I love this. Right. Tenerife, 29th of September 2018, 5:40 AM. So I've just technically had my first official one-night stand. I suppose I've had one-night stands before, but they've always been with someone I knew beforehand. This is the first time I've had sex with someone who I don't know and who I'll never see again. I've been on holiday with my family for a few days. At 22, this is the first I've been on holiday with them since I was about 15. As you can imagine, I'm bored shitless. I just broke up with my ex a few days before flying out here, and I've been attempting to drown my sorrows in the all-inclusive bar every night, which has been proving pretty difficult considering everybody's in bed by midnight. We went out to the local bars for a few drinks tonight, and I was steaming and randy as fuck by the time everybody was going home. Earlier in the night, I decided to download Tinder and had been swiping through eligible bachelors all night. It was only after my 5th double gin I decided it was time to get my hole. I knew it'd be easy enough as I'm absolutely stunning, and there are plenty of Brits on holiday here who are also as desperate and horny as I am. I settled on an Irish boy, who I'll refer to as Irish boy from here on forward, who said he was studying plant life at university. I thought, he sounds boring enough that he probably isn't going to kill or kidnap me. So we agreed to meet in half an hour. All I had to do now was figure out a cover story to tell my parents. We're about to leave the bar to head back to the hotel, so I make like I'm a teenager again and rack my brains for my most convincing lie possible. Mum, there's somebody on holiday here that I know from uni with some pals. How mad is that? I think I might go and meet them and see what the clubs are like. Who is it? How do you know them? Where do they stay? Who's their pals? Are they boys? And how do you know them? How are you going to find them if you don't know Tenerife? Is that definitely them you're speaking to? I answer all my mum's questions extremely quickly and convincingly for someone who's absolutely steaming and lying through her teeth. She eases off and I think to myself, I can't fucking believe she's buying this. It's amazing what you can do with the internet, Facebook and all that. You can meet up with people you know anywhere. We never had anything like that. I feel like I've just pulled off the heist of the century. I look over at my dad, who's been fairly silent this whole time. He shakes his head a little, raises his eyebrow, but says absolutely nothing. I know fine well he sees right through it, but for some reason he decides to go along with it. What a fucking legend. He'll be getting an exceptionally good Christmas present this year. I pull up in a taxi outside an apartment complex and I'm greeted by a small, curly-haired male, about 5'7", wearing an ill-fitting football strip and shorts and clutching 4 cans. Irish boy. It's worth mentioning at this point that let me start that wee bit again, guys. It's worth mentioning at this point that he had previously informed me that he had some banging ching and a power of green. That was the main reason I went to meet him. So we head down the beach and begin taking Patsy's off his room key. Irish boy's enthusiasm was impressive, albeit a little bit disturbing. Oh, the things I'm going to do to you. I can't wait to motorboat every part of your body. You see, people think it's just the tits you do, but oh, no. You should motorboat every part of a woman's body. It was at this point I knew that I'd made a grave mistake. However, absolutely coked out my nut in the middle of Tenerife, I decided it was past the point of no return and whatever happened from this point forward would be funny as fuck. We roamed the streets of Tenerife for ages trying to find a hotel that would put us up for the night, as Irish boy was sharing a room with his dad, and I politely declined his suggestion of shagging on the beach. Needless to say, nowhere would take us in as it was 2 AM and we were both an absolute mess. We decided there was only one thing for it, to sneak past his dad asleep in our hotel room and get down to business in the balcony. We removed our shoes and crept through the room. Irish boy's dad lay snoring loudly in the bed. This was some pure Mission Impossible level shit, and I was living for it. We made it onto the balcony, and the boy began kissing me so enthusiastically I thought he might bite my lip off. After a lot of fumbling around and some hilarious attempts at foreplay, we attempt to have sex, but he seems to be having some serious erectile issues. Understandable considering the amount of gear we ingested on the beach. I turned round to face him and realised that he isn't wearing a condom. Considering we bought some specifically for this event, I was extremely fucking raging. What the fuck are you doing, you absolute fucking cunt? I angrily whispered at him, conscious of the boy's father asleep through the wall. I thought you put a condom on, you fucking idiot. Irish boy looks like he's just seen his mom's ghost. I couldn't get it on, sorry. You wouldn't have soaked me dick if you thought I had anything. I was fuming, but he did have a point. The look of shock on his face and his clear lack of skills tells me all I need to know. That despite the fact Irish boy was trying to have sex without a condom, it was clear that I wouldn't be contracting any sexually transmitted infections, as this boy had not had his hole in quite some time. After all the erectile issues, Irish boy attempts to get me off, at which of course he fails miserably. He rubs my clit so hard it's like he's trying to wax a car bonnet. I try my hardest to give him some hints and tips, but it's like talking to a brick wall. After a few minutes of painfully disappointing poking and prodding, I decided this joke had gone on long enough and it was time for me to leave. Pissed off at the sheer tragedy of this evening, I pulled on my clothes, grabbed my things and pushed open the sliding balcony door, stomping through the apartment with complete disregard for the fat, balding man asleep on the bed. I'm almost at the front door when Irish boy's dad wakes up from his sleep and bellows, "What the fuck is going on here?" "Fuck you!" I scream back at the man as I storm out of the apartment, slamming the door behind me. I walk up to the main road and hop in the first taxi I flagged down and head back to the hotel. As I enter the room, my mum wakes up. "Did you have a good night?" she asked sleepily. Aye, it was class. And that's that one done. Thank you. I've got 3. I don't know. Maybe I should do 2. Should I do 1? I don't know. How many more do you want? Something give me. Oh, okay. Oh fuck no! I don't know if I like this one. Oh, okay, well, I'll just do it anyway. Fuck it. Fuck it. Right, okay. Fuck it already. Glasgow, 8th of November, 12:34 p.m. I'm lying in a double bed somewhere in what I think is the south side of Glasgow. I went on a Tinder date last night with a skinny boy with lots of tattoos and ended up back here. We'd matched on Tinder a few weeks prior and had been chatting back and forth via Instagram. Due to the fact that he lived in Glasgow, I hadn't really put much thought into meeting up, but I just so happened to be coming through to Glasgow for a meal for my friend's birthday, so we decided to meet for a drink. While I was going to be on the date with Skinny Boy, my friends were going to a gig that I didn't have tickets for anyway, so there was always the chance for me to bow out about 11 o'clock and head home with them if it wasn't going well. I thought this was very safe and responsible of me, and was far beyond my usual safety plan of, if it goes bad, just run. My friends accompanied me to a bar where I sat and waited for Skinny Boy. We sat at a table next to a very drunk middle-aged couple and their friend. The woman, who introduces herself as Ainsley, has decided to take me under her wing and is soon getting her boyfriend to buy me drinks. Skinny Boy's due to show up in the next 20 minutes, and happily leaving me under the loving care of Ainsley & Co, my friends say goodbye and good luck and head off to their gig. Skinny Boy is over an hour late. I'm not really sure what the fuck he was doing in this time. Some story about a meal running on too late, but I didn't really give a fuck because in this time, Ainsley and I were getting very well acquainted. See, it's annoying because my boyfriend, aye, that's him, that big baldy bastard there. I love him, and I love shagging him, but he's got a massive dick. And I don't just mean like, oh, it's quite big, it's massive. And I'm not saying that my fanny's tiny, it's just kind of normal size. But sometimes it gets pure sore, so I was saying to my pals about it, and they were saying it's probably because of my age that I've got a dry fanny. So I says to him, do you think I've got a pure dry fanny? And he was like, no, but I don't want to think I've got a pure dry fanny because I don't want to shag him, because I do. I want to shag him all the time, I'm so horny. I'm fucking howling. Ainsley talks about her boyfriend's massive dick and her dry vagina for such a long time that I totally forgot about the fact that Skinny Boy was due to show up hours ago. During this time, Ainsley's boyfriend and his friend were plying me with double gins. Despite the fact they were both probably older than my dad, they were thoroughly enjoying flirting with a young, stunning wee piece such as myself. I told Ainsley about my upcoming date and she was starting to get annoyed at how late he was. I'm sorry, but if that boy doesn't show up in the next 10 minutes, that's it. You're calling it off. You shouldn't wait about for a boy like that. And look at you, you're stunning. Who do you think he is? Absolutely not. Honestly, John, tell this lassie she's stunning. No, you're absolutely stunning. Look at you. Boy's a fucking wanker. Ainsley's now calling me her daughter and is accompanying me to the toilet and insisting we share the same cubicle. This would probably have bothered me if it weren't for the fact that I was absolutely fucking moggled. By the time Skinny Boy shows up, myself and my adopted family are the only people left in the bar. He is, of course, skinny, shorter than I imagined, well dressed but covered in tattoos. He apologises profusely and goes to the bar to order us both a shot of tequila. Ainsley turns to me. Is that him? Seriously? Oh, Megan Hen, no way. I'm so steaming at this point, and I'm howling. This full situation is so bizarre. I go up to the bar, down my shot of tequila straight away without waiting for him. This was probably rude, but I found his extreme lateness a lot ruder. We sat down at the table with Ainsley and Co and some weird conversation ensues. I end up arguing with the friend of the boyfriend who's been complimenting me and buying me drinks all night. We're all British in this country. Well, I'm no. No, we're all British. Our troops fought for that. Yeah, fuck the troops. The guy's head looks like it's actually going to fly off. He's that fucking red. If you ever want to offend a fat 50-year-old white Glaswegian unionist, fuck the troops is definitely the way to go. We make a swift exit and head to the next bar. Skinny Boy's passing me a bag of gear under the table. It's taking up a notch. And we're both taking it in turns to go to the bathroom to take keys in the toilet. I'm not sure what I thought this date was going to go like, but this definitely wasn't it. Aside from the strange start, the rest of the date went pretty well, and it was actually pretty normal, if doing class A's in a toilet at 9 PM on a first date is normal. After my second glass of red wine, we headed back to his apartment. The rest of the evening is pretty blurry in my mind, but I do know that I definitely had a good time. And at some point, I ended up in a bath taking lines off a dinner plate. We didn't have sex because he didn't have any condoms and I'm a responsible bitch, but we did pretty much everything else, so you can fill in the gaps. It's now 12:30 in the afternoon and I'm writing this as Skinny Boy is away to the shops. I forced him to buy condoms, a hairbrush, because my hair's a fucking state, and some Diet Iron Brew for my own pleasure. When he returns, we will finally commence in the actual shagging. Hopefully he's going to shag the hangover out of me because I feel like microwaved shit. And that's that one done. Thank you. Right. This is the last one, right? I've saved, personally, I think the best one for last. I'm just going to get a wee drink of water though because I'm dry. Oh, right, actually, maybe like worth a wee bit of background for this one. So basically the exhibition that I was doing, the work that I'd been doing, like I'd sent out a questionnaire to all my exes. So it was like, I'd sent out a round one and it was like 12 different questions and like, I'm trying to think of examples. One of them was like, how would you rate me out of 10 on shagging, like 1 to 10, what number would you give me? And then there's like other ones like, do you think I ever lied to you, blah, blah, blah. So I had like all the responses from like all my exes, but like, so this ex, I sent him the questionnaire, he never responded. So I was just like, when I'd been preparing all this, I'd been like, rounding up all these stories about all my tragic dates, sexual encounters. I've been wondering to myself if my sex life has always been this disastrous, or if there was a time when it started to go south. So, my thoughts led me back to this one particular summer's day when I was 15. I'm in a relationship with my first proper boyfriend. We're completely obsessed with each other to a sickening degree. We sent each other love letters, many of which I've kept to this day. I like to look back on them on days when I'm feeling particularly masochistic. They're brimming with a healthy dose of teen angst and filled with words of desperate longing and grand plans about our long and happy future together. That didn't last long. We'd broken up by the time I turned 16, and not long after, I publicly announced my new foray into lesbianism via Facebook, constructing a long, painful text message to my mum, coming out and urging her to accept me for who I am, a proud lesbian. To which she replied, "Okay. Are you coming home for tea?" I posted a retraction 3 months later. My boyfriend and I, who I'm referring to as Tall Boy for the sake of his pride, are in his parents' house. The schools are on summer break and both of his parents are at work. We've both been warned that we're not allowed to be in the house alone together, and his mum is worried that we're getting up to mischief. She is correct. Oh my god, I've lost my place. Right, wait, hang on. She's correct. Here we go. I routinely sneak in the back door of his house at all hours of the night, quietly leaving again in the morning before his family wake up. However, it's summer now, and we're on our 3rd or 4th day of consecutively sneaking into his house after his parents go to work. We're both full of hormonal eagerness and desperate to have sex at any possible moment. We're midway through a hefty sesh when we hear a noise from downstairs. Tall Boy's dad bounced through the house and up the stairs. "Who's in here? I swear to God you better no be in this house, boy." Fuck. Stark naked and full of adrenaline, my fight or flight complex kicks in and I do the first thing that comes to mind. Tall Boy looks to me as if to ask for help. I grab the duvet and barrel roll off the bed like fucking James Bond, straight under the desk. No fucking chance am I dealing with his dad. You're on your own, pal. I'm cuddled under the desk in fetal position, with my hand over my mouth, trying to hold in my laughter. The boy's dad bursts into the room. "What the fuck's going on? Why are you naked?" I know fine well I left my shoes, my jacket and my bag at the front door when I came in, so whatever excuses he comes up with at this point are absolutely useless. I'm peeking out from the duvet and I can see my boyfriend standing fully naked with his hands on his hips, but wearing both of his socks. "I'm just out the shower, okay?" "Well, why have you got a condom on then?" "I was having a fucking wank, Dad. Get out of my fucking room." Right, we'll talk about this later. I waited till I heard the front door slam and emerged from the duvet. My boyfriend is standing with his hands on his hip, but his head hanging in shame, much like his now limp dick. The condom is still attached. "You could have at least taken the Johnny off, for fuck's sake." "I didn't have fucking time, Megan." Needless to say, I never went round to his house again. We continued to go out for a little while longer, but we ended up parting ways for various unrelated reasons. I didn't see the boy again until this past year. However, as fate would have it, I routinely bumped into his dad in Tesco at least twice a year until I left Kilmarnock. Each time he saw me, giving me the same painfully awkward, "Megan." My impressive proclivity to retread old ground peaked this Christmas when Tall Boy and I ended up in the same bar on Christmas Eve. Wee bit of background. So I only ever go back to Killie now for special occasions, so it'll be like birthday, Christmas, whatever, Easter, whatever else, Thanksgiving, I don't know. So every time I go back, everybody always goes to the same pub and every single one of my exes are in there, and every time I walk in it's like a wee who's who. I'm like, "Oh, shag that one, oh, shag that, oh fuck." So you can imagine this, quite tense. My friends ripped the piss out of me all night. "You're going to end up shagging him tonight." I was adamant that this wasn't going to happen, but of course when the bars closed, we walked up the familiar road to his house and snuck in the back door. Creeping up the stairs with my shoes off, I'm getting pure PTSD flashbacks to all the times I snuck in this boy's house almost a decade ago. We enter his room and it's exactly the same as I remember it being. Quite worrying considering he's now a 25-year-old man. He forces me to listen to Arcade Fire, a band as painfully boring and vanilla as the rest of my evening. Sorry if there's any Arcade Fire fans in the audience. My night spent in his room pales in comparison to all the wildly passionate nights we spent together all those years ago. I realise that too much time has passed and the person I knew him to be long ago doesn't exist anymore. We were both completely different people, not compatible in any sense. We've got absolutely fuck all in common, and I wonder how the fuck we even ended up going out in the first place. At 6 a.m, I stalked back round to my mum's house, a journey I've made many times before, but never in last night's clothes on Christmas morning. When I enter, my family are already awake. My brother and sister eagerly awaiting my arrival so they can start opening their presents. Mom, that's our here. Where have you been? My brother's such a smug wee cunt. Fuck off, Dafty. My mum, who has now seen it all, is annoyed but not shocked. It's Christmas fucking morning, Megan. Oh, I'm sorry I was at Tallboys. Oh, no way. How is he? What's he up to? Is he still wanting that job? I haven't slept yet, and I just smoked a joint about 20 minutes prior to entering the house, so I'm biffing it. I'm standing in my ripped fishnets, answering all my mum's questions, still finding last night's eyelashes tangled in my hair. My dad, as always, is fucking buckled. He comes down the stairs, jokingly calls me a dirty stop out, and then goes into the living room to join everyone else. After opening presents, after opening presents, oh my god, buckle. I slept for the rest of the day and I woke up for Christmas dinner, which of course I was too hungover to eat. I wonder at what age I'm going to stop getting myself into these stupid situations, but it's been almost a decade and I think my affinity for drama is now an inescapable part of my being. So here's to another 10 years of being a messy bitch. And if you enjoyed that content and you would like some more, follow me on Instagram at Armageddon. Get it? Armageddon. Thank you very much. I'll be doing other bits at some point. Thank you.